seat up. Flip it back and make it run when he done that leak up. Get ahead like you a geek. Show no face if you discreet. Come and put the drink on me if you wanna leave up.
I was chillin' right around my way, 21st east side of the beach. This motherfucker ran up on me talking shit with his homies like he was a straight G. Asking where I'm from while he running up. Gang bang my set on every one of them. Some things, sons, they just won't change. Fools don't respect nothing but the gang bang. What's seen is what's saw, dog, is the law. I had you niggas running like a marathon. Lil G's tryna creep on the E. Talking about they gon' get my chain and they gon' leave with it. But they don't know, once they get close, it's tic-tac-toe. 3 motherfuckers laid on the floor. Yeah, this happened yesterday. On the west they spray. I heard a SA say, he said,
I thought you won't believe what I saw these pack of guys and they act real hard.
and what they do?
They twist their fingers, say you know who we are. He said, I don't give a fuck, ain't Snoop Doggy Dogg. They keep talking and it went too far. So Snoopy, he went straight through the trunk of his car. He got his gun and they start running hard. He started firing and then he just charged.
Run nigga, duck nigga, run motherfucker, run motherfucker, run. Run nigga, duck nigga, run motherfucker, run motherfucker, run. I didn't mean to hit what I hit, now that's 3 motherfuckers dead and I ain't seen shit.
She could ride my face, I don't want nothing in return. Her body counting who she fucking, never my concern. I'm tryna buy my neighbor house.
We back at it.
She could ride my face, I don't want nothing in return, except for some her time and all her love, that's my concern. I'm tryna buy my neighbor house and turn it to a y'all. If you don't know my grandma name, then we ain't really dogs, bitch. I shook your hand, I don't respect, don't call me king. I'm not your twin, I'm not your brother, we just met. See, I won't purchase, no Birkin. Got hobbies, got purpose, got bumpers, I'm perfect. Yeah, killer green wagon, look better when the gloom out. Canary shine brighter in the dark, I bought the move out. The plane fly better when it's just me and the pilot. Tuition for the mileage. He cast bras like radio, shit your lady knows. It's young T like baby clothes. And I got that fire, and I got good dick. Guap long, dick long, plus I look good, bitch. She could ride my face, I don't want nothing in return. Because if she get off, then I get off, that's my concern. I'm tryna buy my neighbor house and turn it to a yard. If you don't know my grandma name, then we ain't really dogs, bitch. That's a lot of motherfucking necklace. 5, 6, 7 is the figure for a set list. Ring, 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 bitch, pick up the phone. I don't care if y'all together, I would tell down the home. Shit, I shipment through Perry and back a phantom of the threads. The driver's seat of the Enzo could barely fit my leg. And Virgil, my chaperone, he look out from overhead. Not sure what you overheard, but it's probably what I said. Bitch, I'm out here living, y'all on the feed. My girl look like Zazie Beetz and Khalid. I pull up in the what the fuck is that, dog? It's Mr. Peculiar, that's who I be. Niggas telling women how they body supposed to be, but never take advice from any nigga with a lean gut. Keep your check rockin' and my 2 cents in your pocket. Your only option, I don't play no motherfucking game. She could ride my face, I don't want nothing in return. And will I ever fall in love again, I can't confirm. I'm tryna buy my neighbor house and turn it to a yard. If you don't know my daughter name, then we ain't really dogs.
After this, you niggas can't say nothing.
Dog tooth,
Suckers.
dog tooth, 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 yeah, nigga, dog tooth, dog tooth.
You must got a fever, till I die of a man, girl, you must gotta leave him. I keep it up like a tree, palms on 7th Ave that be lining up the street, Her hips grinding to the beat. It's your birthday and I'm just trying to get a piece. Go. I fell victim to your waist. The cherries on top, you can lick it, get a taste. Say, we could kick it any day. Ain't gotta share flavors, we can kick it anyway. My mission is your face. Down first place, competition get erased. Listen what I say. Lemur was cool, gotta mention where I stay. Listen what I say. My watermelon girl got my attention for the day. I say life ain't sweet, Saturday through Monday, but in the summertime, you my watermelon Sunday. Life ain't sweet, Saturday through Monday, but in the summertime, you my watermelon Sunday. Life ain't sweet, Saturday through Monday, but in the summertime, you my watermelon Sunday.
Gotta beat the heat, even though I wanna play, but you keep me cool, you my watermelon Sunday.
Hey. You taste so cool and your crispy clean crew, yeah, we make those too. I said, you rock J so smooth. If you wasn't into me, I'd probably date your shoes. I said, you can replace most dudes, but when you stand next to me, don't melt away so soon. I said, we could play games, no rules. Fat French fries with the steak I do. I said, throw a shake on too. Put your legs over here, I bet I shake those too. I said, you can't escape what's real. Fuck growing old, I wanna make love here. I said, we might break up, yeah. The sun'll go down and we'll make up there. I said, you like a missile when it blows. Try to get away, but I just kiss you on the nose. Say.
Okay. Welcome to the next chapter. It's your host Wes.
And Mauriwowi, how's it going? We're here chilling with.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Chai T. You can call me Chai.
Yeah, and it's a nice hot day out here. The Geffen Contemporary, kchung.org. Everybody check that out. Man, I'm glad to have you here today, Mr. Chai T. Because it's been a lot of times we've bumped heads in different open mics and settings, and I feel like we haven't really sat down in this setting before, which is pretty cool because we get to know more about you and what you're about and your art.
Definitely. We're excited for this conversation. I think it's going to be a very insightful and very fun conversation. So I'm eager to get into it. So I guess there's so many places to start with it, but I guess we can start with what got you into wanting to express yourself through comedy.
Yeah, I could definitely answer that. Well, yeah. First of all, I'm really glad to be on here, to be just sitting down and have a nice chill chat underneath the shade, bless the shade that we got from the sun. I know we meet up in a lot of spaces, especially in the art scene, of just in crowds and mics, and people are expressing themselves. But it's nice that we could just sit down and kind of relax a bit, and you have more casual conversation, or intimate, or serious, however the next 2 hour pans out. But yeah, so a little more into a backstory. In my daytime, I do modeling on a computer. Yeah, I'm an engineer, so I just I model like lighting fixtures and basically turn it from a computer-aided model into a design you'd see in buildings and stuff. And then in the nighttime, I do a form of mixed martial artistry with an emphasis more on comedy and poetry. But I'm trying to dabble more into other mediums of expression. And for me, I feel expression something that I've more so or less unlocked in the past 2019 when I first got onto the mic was I really felt something unlock inside of me. Like I had kind of a locked chest where I wasn't great at expressing myself beforehand, and it came a lot from my own trauma by hearing a lot of like my voice didn't matter enough and always being spoken over or being told that I talk too weird or not making a lot of sense. And I struggled a lot with also not talking to people in general. I'm very shy and awkward. But after coming up onto the mic, I found that I'm now confidently shy and awkward. So I feel like I found my voice from just expressing on the mic, be it through bars or through jokes, just about tidbits of my life.
Wow, that was interesting to see like how you tied together all the facets of your life with the comedic aspect to it, and also you made me think of something too about that aspect of you when you talk about awkward and shyness, and then being confident within that. I feel like for me, even I started to think like, is that something that I just noticed within comedy? You know what I mean? Because like I know that's like a big strength for people. It's like if you can master that on stage and use it to be funny, like you're on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I realize like there's a lot in performing too that is about like, how do you say it, relates to being witty in that regard. And I feel like I resonate with that. Like say in regards to some other people that may be on the stage, like sometimes they're energetic. Like every now and then I feel like I'm just at my best out there and I'm just like being myself. Like sometimes a little nervous, a little shy, just like saying something funny, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it's like we use those moments when you see yourself, you're being like, okay, this is yourself being human. This is what people relate to. Like people, it kind of breaks through the
That's some real shit. To be brutally honest, that's something that I've struggled with for years. Vulnerability is something that I don't often show. It's been an uphill battle, like not a battle, but uphill walk for it, of being more comfortable of expressing myself. Because I feel like with expression is always just like peeling a layer back of like who you are as a person, right? Because there's like a certain layer that is, whether we like it or not, just shown to the world. Like that is just like what's seen, and then like there's like the layer behind it, and like the layer behind it is something that sometimes is, fuck man, people are just ill receptive to it, and sometimes, or they just are beyond ill receptive. They're, I don't know, it's a sense of like constant, as much as it is not worrying about what people think of you, we live in a world where you have, like, their judgments exist. Like, people are going to be making judgments of you, and so, like, you have to kind of make us move in a certain way where it's like, that is a reality. And so, within that, peeling back those layers of, like, because it is still being true to yourself and, like, being full expressionist, and, like, it's been something that, as I've grown up, it's been being more and more okay with, and I'm thankful that I've been able to try to get to that point, but it's something that I'm still battling with. Like, I'm not like, because I don't think anyone is fully honest, like, or not fully honest, but say like fully exposed at any point, because I think that even that is like a facade. You know, it seems like you're trying too much to be expressing, like, to be like, oh, I'm super honest on this. I feel like everyone has like a certain bubble that they hold close. And the thing that I really enjoy about comedy, because as I enjoy it as like a viewer, or or not even just a listener, however you want to say it, like, I like it because it's the best ability of peeling back those layers and showing things in lights that are digestible and are a little bit more people can analyze it and talk about it and be like, all right, okay, well, we can see it from different lights, as opposed to like the initial reaction that sometimes you just get, like, say, like on the street. And I feel like that's why I was initially intrigued by the idea of expression of comedy, because it's amazing to see that layer peeled back in that sense. Because I think being behind a mic in any sense, whether it be or honestly any kind of art expression, I feel like is peeling back layers. But when you have a layer where you're there directly, and not only are you there, but you're projecting yourself to an audience and getting audience feedback, instant reaction, that's a very vulnerable state. Because you're not only sharing yourself with one person, but you're sharing yourself with a whole crowd of people, and it's now you're dealing with that reaction, and with that, it's like, it's admirable as fuck to see that. And I think it's super dope, and for all artists in any way that they can do it. But that was a big reason why I wanted to kind of cue in on that initially.
Yeah, and definitely agree with that. A lot of, we live in a world where, we're constantly bombarded with judgment anytime our existence is put out into the world. And you're going to get negative and positive feedback just simply by being the person you are. And so in that sense, we're kind of like onions, to be using the Shrek metaphor, that, there's layers of us that, we constantly want to peel back to really get into the heart of our humanity. And Yeah, on the surface level, really basic, I guess stuff. But like as you peel back more layers, you cut the onions. Sometimes it really stinks, and people ain't gonna like that. Which is why I think it's pretty important that in all that you keep peeling back those layers, and some people really like onions, and then that's what you got to surround yourself with. We really need community, people who support us for who we are, and like actually enjoy the onion inside of us. Some people really like onions, and yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Nah, that was real. That was real. Cause I do feel you. I'm a real core of the onion kind of person. Like I feel like I agree that we all day to day have to we're affected by like the things that we experience and our experiences and how we act. But like you said, like I feel like, at least for me, that's like I get a little lost in that. Like how you say, like confused in that. Like when I try to lock into whatever that like reality is, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that reality sometimes makes it to where I'm like, it's not like for me. Like I feel more at home when I'm like trying to figure out what is like at the center, because maybe I'm always like at the center kind of person, you know what I mean? And it's ups and downs with that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the same shit you're saying, like it's ugly moments, it's like moments like, you know what I mean? But and there's people that rock with the moments, and there's people that really resonate with them because it's like, oh, they've been that vulnerable before, or like and music, like that's one of the biggest like factors in music that always like draw me to music, is that like me like not being at that point and then seeing someone else be vulnerable about something they felt and then like resonating with that and then being like, okay, like maybe I could be a little more forthcoming with this, or like more like on the cuff with whatever they're expressing that I related to. And I feel like through art and expression, I've always kind of just clung to that as to like at least my voice within it, outside of maybe like the performative like skill, because I don't know if I ever felt like I was like the best like skill wise, like I feel like I had like abilities to do certain stuff, but that's something I always felt like I was very like core of the onion type person.
I suppose to add on to that, art I feel isn't more or less skill based but more expression based. For one thing, between different jobs, like people see STEM jobs as a necessity and don't think much of as art jobs, but not realizing that art is integrated in our lives. Like, think about the times when we were in the pandemic. What do we turn to as our sanctuary to find our humanity? Through literature, TVs, movies, books. Like, art is ingrained into society. It's just as necessity as STEM jobs. STEMs do keep the world running, but art makes life worth living for. And more so on community is that in my STEM job, I'm doing a lot of work working for another person, whereas art jobs, it is based on community. It needs community. Like, to be an artist, you need to have people who can support you all the way out through.
I'm curious to know, like, at what point in time did you start taking like comedy serious, or having like a community within, that supported you in your comedy? Like, when did you feel like you were fully like had the ability to, even just a setting around the people you practice with and your peers, be like fully vulnerable to be able to like sharpen your pen and be like a better comic? Like, when did that happen?
I suppose to go through my timeline of how it started. My first time on the mic was in November 3rd of 2019, when I went to an open mic, to chase after a crush, who's also performing there. And, I had no idea what a mic was, what people who do poetry, comedy, like what they do behind the scenes or howsoever. I just went up there not knowing any of these concepts, but just to share my feelings, which, it took a lot out of me to try to do that, because I've never done that before. And I didn't have anything prepared. I just decided to say sing was on my mind. I ended up bringing out a ukulele and said, I'm going to sing a song I made up on the spot for that person in the front row, and I'm just going to go at it. And, it didn't matter how great or bad it was. It was really bad. But it didn't matter, how great or bad it was. But to me, it felt like something inside me just clicked. That I feel like something that I've been suppressing for so long, I kind of just became opened. All the filters and the floodgates that lock my words and my voice is finally gone, and I just went at it. And it's a release. It's compulsion. It's passion. It's the craziest things of being human are feelings and emotions, and it is something that makes us human. And those things I keep locked down deep inside is it really felt like a relinquishment. And then having trained in taking like speech pathology and public speaking lessons really helped me find the words to really express what's in my soul, the imaginary thing that makes us human. Well, not imaginary, it's kind of real, I suppose. It's our energies, it's our things you can't see but you feel it, and it was around 2021 of January when the world was opening back up again, when I decided to take comedy lessons. Because beforehand, I would kind of just saying stuff to just ramble to therapy, because it's a little cheaper than therapy to do comedy. $5 a mic versus $100 a session. I mean, if they made it more affordable, then therapy is a good option for those who need it, but it's really if you're able to figure out what's going on in your own mind, or I guess, I don't know, figuring yourself out. Ultimately, there's many avenues we can do with that, but for me, it's kind of just figuring out what I can say out loud that can really hear my voice. And from then on, I just kept on leveling up my speech and my comedy, and then eventually devolving into or going into poetry around the summer of 2021, when I got accepted into this program called the Community Literature Initiative, which was another community focused on trying to help people progress, teach them how to publish a book. Because a lot of these art endeavors sound really complicated, but it gets simpler once you break it down to basically step one. All you gotta do is write and make it a consistent schedule, and then just put it together, download it, and then there's a lot of resources out there where it'll help you. You can have editors or layout editors, graphic designers, and then I went through all that around the beginning of 2022, and they just compiled my book together to create my poetry book, which I'm shooting to release by the end of this year. Yeah. It's called How Chai Tea is Made. Yeah. It's a biography in the forms of poetry throughout all the stories in my lifetime. And
why is that so deep?
Yeah, how chai tea is made. I really love tea, so I'm like, my parents also really love tea if they named me after it. And beyond all that, I feel society would definitely evolve and become better through a more empathetic approach to really relating to other people, and realizing that all our lives are complexity. All of our lives are every NPC that you see walking by you down the street or at the market or wherever you go. They have just as a crazy as life as you got. And I think that's one important lesson I want to share to the world is, however alone you may feel, which is an inevitable feeling, that loneliness is a pretty common feeling that everyone feels. And I guess in the nothingness in this world, whatever short amount of time we got in the grand being of the cosmos, we got a whole lot of stuff we can do in this insignificant life of ours, but it just means so much to us. I mean, how much do you think you can accomplish in like 80 years? It's a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. I mean, I suppose just in this past year, I've been really ramping up more in my creative craft and finding that, poetry and comedy is more than a choice, but a compulsion. That it's something that I need to do and have to do. I really want to share that people do want to be heard and seen. People are dying to be heard and seen. That everyone's got stories to tell, and yes, as we like kind of move towards expression, it is kind of what we need now to be more connected than ever so before, especially coming from a period when we were all so isolated. And then we could thank technology for all that. And then also how technology is growing is it kind of seems uncertain where our technology is going, but it's essentially like a tool, as cars have been tools, as the internet has been tools that can be used through constructive or deconstructive means depending on how you want to utilize it.
I'm curious on your thoughts on Chat GPT. Just because when I was driving on the way here, I drove by like the writers' strike, and they had something on their sign about Chat GPT, and I was just because I'm curious to see what your thoughts on it are.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I really jumped through like a bunch of topics in that one ramble, but kind of we're about to. So I suppose ChatGPT definitely one of the biggest things on the rise in terms of technology that's been popping off. I see ChatGPT along another list of lines of tools we can utilize, and I know it's definitely a useful tool to help do like the tasks that would have taken a lot more hours that will be wasted upon, like data analysis or research collection. And it has been utilized to in some way create art. I wouldn't normally necessarily see it as a replacement for writers or screenwriters, or I guess any form of artists, because what is it? I would think of it in itself could be eventually an art form in its own, sort of like how in the beginning we've had cavemen doing like paintings and hand sculptures or something, and then we evolved into sculpting, then we evolved into like doing drawings with more tools like pencils to pens to crayons, and then we got into graphic design where we now can use computers to create these drawings and paintings, and then we tried to like imitate life as real as possible, and then also then we got photography and took it to the next level where why draw something when you can just take a picture of it, and that in itself is an art form. And now we can have like AI create like paintings for us and like do all these crazy digital imagery and all that stuff. But I don't see it as a replacement, because you still know painters. You still have like famous painters like I don't know, Picasso or Kahlo, and you still have people who do digital imaging. And you still have people who do photography. Like they still are used in our daily lives. And as artists, when we need like I don't know, headshots or taking pictures for marketing, we still have all these mediums for art forms that didn't really go extinct. Maybe possibly become vintage, but like, heck, I do typewriter poetry, and people are still intrigued by the nostalgia or the curiosity, because people, like old age, have some kind of calling to this, I guess, outdated form of technology, and intriguing the young uns who are bewildered by what came before the computers. And we still have record players, people who can hold on to these and find this like source to listen to music. I mean, ChatGPT is just like one along the lines of mediums that will eventually evolve and get better. We'll get better at utilizing it, and it will never replace the true soul of writing, because like how we are as humans, what we get from other artists is inspiration. And sure, a lot of us dabble in imitation, which is more so along of just copying and stealing. But it is kind of like, what's the difference between plagiarism and research? Plagiarism is like taking one person's work and making your own, and research is taking a bunch of different pieces of articles and putting it into one block.
Oh
Yeah.
For sure, super duper plagiarizing the cool college like in that way. Like that was so confusing to me once I realized like that was the move. Like you just had to like cite everything, and it's like they're like correct.
There you go.
I'm like, so what even is this? Like,
Yeah.
That is true. No, it's a like art copyright in its own is a very interesting like muddy field. Yeah, we're about to cut this in a minute to go to music break, but into there we definitely have a lot back more that I want to talk back onto that we touched on. I want to talk a little bit on your favorite teas because I'm a big tea fan, so I do enjoy teas. So I'll start there, and I want to have something else I want to jump back from earlier.
Yeah, I felt naturally by my birthright. I should know a lot about teas. I could definitely tell you the best teas in LA.
yeah, let's fill us in on the tea spots.
Tea spots. I'd rank it by cities. I gotta say around K-Town, B tier stuff, but the Valley, A tier stuff. But San Gabriel Valley, you know, where all the definitely since we got a high Asian American population there, you know, high influx of like Taiwanese and well, I know it's definitely high in Taiwanese population, but in San Gabriel Valley, definitely my S tier spots are like half and half. God tier tea, it's amazing. Check out Half and Half Tea Express. Tea Pumps is another good one. It's more like the candy shop of tea spots because it's got like 21 different flavors that can mix and match 3 of them at the same time. So every time you go in there, you can always get something different. Sounds like a fun little shop. Tea Brick and Roasting Waters, they've got nice souvenir cups they could take home. They come with like cute little bottles of drawings of like astronaut Shiba Inus or like flowers or kawaii stuff, you know, cute stuff. And you know, they rotate their cups every season, so they've got nice stuff. 10 Ren's Tea Express, great spot to if you also want to get food, popcorn chicken and fish cakes. They're pretty bomb there. Let's see what else. And 7 Leaves, I personally like it because it also works as a work cafe. You know, sometimes I'll go there, order oolong, a song mix, and then you know, just spend my day there working on my computer and stuff.
Well, we'll probably toss it back to Chris for the music for a second, but after that, when we come back, I want to hear what's the worst place you've been to.
I said all these fine.
Yeah, they're good ones.
You've been distance, call my name, 'cause I am in love with you.
Pay my bill.
Made me wanna pay your bills, blowing money for the thrill. When I put in overtime, get you to the finish line. Girl, I'm about to pay your bills, flicking through your carousel. Revolution televised, yeah. Feeling lucky, roll the dice. Made me wanna, tonight I'm gonna, made me wanna, made me wanna pay your bills, in the kitchen cooking meals. Blow your back and then we die. Fine wine, see the way she aging. Can I get an amen? I leave her body aching. It's amazing. Tonight I'm gonna make me wanna. 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 Tonight I'm gonna.
Twin flame, twin flame. Twin flame, twin flame, twin flame, twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. You always got some way around it. You never had to pay for ganja. You always got the waves around you. You're surfing with the jade in mouth, in the barrel with the shade around you. You always be the same as I am. You're pretty with a brain and all that. You even give me brains and all that. You let me till I'm gray and on me in the barrel. It must be nice. Hey, when your mood is that dead right. Hey, when your groove is that dead tight. What am I doing? Am I that nice? Who would've knew you live up to the hype? What do you call it a godsend, godsend. Even when it's 2 in the morning, playing in the garden, tail wagging while you're marching. My God, it's twin flame, twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. She said there's a party, you're invited, 'cause you know you're my favorite and all. Now she wants to leave, I'm so excited, 'cause that's just what I came for. We can take the long way home tonight, 'cause it's my last night in Beverly Hills. Baby, won't
Hey, what's up with the situation, John? One time for my niggas pulled up, yup, at the line. Screwed up like the neck on Frankenstein. Purple weed, purple drink, purple swag, purple tag. We be getting dough. One time for my niggas pulled up, yup, at the line. Screwed up like the neck on Frankenstein. Purple weed, purple drink, purple swag, purple tag. We be getting dough. Just caught the pack of backwoods, I'm sitting high as hell. This OG Kush suits this honey very well. The lights are low, the mood is right. I gotta pull. That's right, I'm tryna get though. I hit my nigga Agent, heard he bought an 8. My nigga Legend blessed me with a cup the other day. Hit my nigga Carver D, dope boy and yay crack. Tell him it's a pool party. ASAP, bumping out the speakers. Coffee cups with lids. This way nobody accidentally ashing in my shit. Got a few 2 liters and it's about to go. Finnegan is the prescription of choice. Just call us the Finnegan boys. I do all this shit just to say get off my dick. You think you know, but you have no idea. The lights are low, the mood is right. I got a phone. Who got a Sprite? Who got a Sprite? Who got a Sprite? I got a phone. Who got a Sprite? I do all this shit just to say get off my dick. You think you know? One time for my niggas hold up, yup, at the line. Screwed up like the neck on Frankenstein. Purple weed, purple drink, purple swag, purple tag. We be getting dough, we be getting dough. One time for my niggas hold up, yup, at the line.
I'm off there in a beat though, with a couple baddies out of Puerto Rico. I'm serving on me bottles, they like chorizo. They don't like it clear, they rather hit a beat though. I'm off there in a beat though. Sweat. Hop out at the left. On the stove, you drop the flow. Dagger where you get your party famous. Strap on me, plus I got the loves like a car payment. I ain't scared to spend it, fuck the image, this just all language. I just brought the bottom for everybody up in my whole squad. I told the plug to bring the bottle for bitches who turn their nose out. Said you wanna be famous, get rich, come on. Gotta get courageous, take a risk, don't scramble. Niggas be hating with the hurt, they can't channel. So I keep 30 on this bitch like in the bitch, don't be on the counter by the Jack Mangoes. And the Migos gon' keep it lit, so handle your candle. Passing out your bitch, turn her living room to a scandal. Louis V sandals, pour me a Nando. I'll be off that Hennabito, Hennabito. I'll be off that Hennessy. I'll be off that Hennabito, Hennabito. I'll be off that Hennessy. Yo, man, I'm buzzing about nothing. Man, them niggas ain't nothing, man. Bitches ain't nothing, man. I'm buzzing about nothing. Man, these niggas ain't nothing, man. Bitches ain't nothing, man. I ain't tripping on blood or grabbing. Finna beat though what it is, then fuck it, it's lit. The wet skirt off on them, ain't no hoes here, nigga. You want my nuts, wanna hold you the pump off, nigga. I ain't the bank, ain't figures, shit. Any money more pink than driving speed. Jesus, if you turn, I left my thing in the closet. Grab it, cock it, protect the deposit, yo.
You want to talk about teas and then something else, right? Oh, there is one thing I did want.
Oh, we good?
You remember? Welcome. Hello? It's not on.
Welcome back to the Next Chapter podcast on kchung.org. We're here back again with Mr. Chai T. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling anxiety. You know, just about as anxiety as every other day, I suppose.
I feel that. I also want to know, you know, we talked a little bit about teas, you know, and you kind of like briefly ran through, you know, some of the favorite places you've been to, but I was kind of curious, you know, which ones have you had like a bad experience at a tea spot being Mr. Chai Tea? Like, you ever walked in and be like, this is a disgrace to everything I know, like.
Yeah, I think my worst experience was this one spot down in South Bay called a Boba Beast. No. The customer, the server was just kind of rude. Cause I remember I went in, I'm like, you know, I'd see milk tea real quick, and then, you know, they gave it to me. They put the cover at the top of the lid, but like that, I guess it didn't go they didn't put it in correctly, so the lid, you know, the thing that sticks the top to the cup, like it wasn't sealed all the way. So I said, "Oh, could you reseal this?" And then they were like, "No." And I was like, "Well, I mean, it's not closed all the way." And this is also during you know, this is like around like 2021, like beginning. So you know, things were still like, you know, we were still in their mask mandates, you know, and I wanted to like bring this. This was for my grandma because she wanted something, and I said, well, you know, could I get this sealed? And then they're like, okay. So what they did was they got that cup, put it into another to-go cup, and put a lid over that. And you know, at some point I was trying to think about like what would make my grandma happy. Of like, I should like have this completely sealed and not looking like it's been tampered with. Anyway, they were just really not, you know, supporting my needs of like, hey, can I just make this look like I'm actually got it from a tea place that, you know, they didn't like, it doesn't look like it's been tampered with. I don't know, it's like a whole like 10-minute ordeal for them to just like, okay, well, we'll try to reseal it, and then, you know, they eventually did it again. I'm thinking like, yeah, I think this could have just been solved in like a minute if they just put it back in the machine to seal it again. But I don't know, I guess they want to save like 2 cents and like save their cups or something. Well, yeah.
And one thing before I forget, I just thought of this randomly. I remember seeing at Palms Up, and we'll talk about this later, maybe how you got into the community there and whatnot, but I remember seeing you perform, and you did, like, you sang a song, but in like you remixed someone else's song, like after they went on, like you, and I was wondering, like, was that planned, or did you come up with that off the cuff? Because that was crazy. Like, I remember that, like, they sung something like regularly, and then you like sung it, but like funny after, like, or something, like you interpolated it what they had just did, like the person before you, and then I was like, man, I ain't never seen that. Like,
I think that might have been during there's another artist named DJ Camping.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so it was his Student Week showcase, which at Palms Up Academy is like an intersectional open mic art community where, you know, every Wednesday nights we would you know, meet together, and then anyone can share the arts. Doesn't matter what kind of medium you're doing it. And then we have like quarterly showcases where we feature 4 artists from the community to do a whole like 45-minute showcase. And Camping, you know, he's a great guy. He did a 45-minute showcase of all of the songs that he did. And one of his main theme songs is Costa Mesa. And it goes, take me back to Costa Mesa. And I kind of, anyway, that's something along the lyrics, but I kind of used that song and remixed it with what's that Guns N' Roses songs? Oh shit, I forgot what it was. It was like a oh man, I forgot. But anyway, yeah, I remixed his Costa Mesa song. I did prepare that in you know, in honor of, you know, him, his work. And I just remixed his song to the beat of oh man, I forgot. Hold on, I'm hitting a blank right here. Oh yeah. Oh, my back.
But that's all. One thing I wanted to touch on before I forget from earlier, we were talking about, we talked about going through speech classes. I think that is super sick because I've always had like a special like love for just the like the speech like class and stuff. Like I was personally like I've always had like somewhat of a slight stutter that I've tried to like push through, and it's something that's beyond that the people that do go through that and do also help others with that, I think is super sick. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit and see how like your like journey through that and process through that.
Yeah, I feel part of my speech disability comes from I am autistic, so like it wasn't like I didn't say my first words until I was 5 years old, and then it was hard for me to kind of say what's on my mind, but more, yeah, I've always like had struggles with like how to talk properly. So I, in elementary school, I had to take an extra like went to a speech pathologist to help me hone in on like how to use my words to express what I mean, which explained a lot to why I was a very angry child, because when I feel like not a lot of people understood what I was trying to say, or when people were struggling a lot with trying to communicate what was going on in my head and how I was feeling, made me a pretty angry kid. And I got into a lot of fights because like I couldn't like really I struggled. I just struggled a lot with trying to talk, and yeah.
But I can see how that could have something to do with that, you know what I'm saying? Because talking things through is a lot of like conflict resolution, you know what I'm saying? So I see how like early on having difficulty with that could result in like having to resolve things in like other ways,
And it's amazing to see that, because genuinely, in many times, especially when I've seen you in your performing sense, like it's not, you could see the way you push past it. It's amazing to see your journey through it, and the way you seem to, it's noticeable and genuinely in many parts. That's why when you were talking about going through it, I was like, wow, that's amazing that he went through it, because that says that there was something before that was kind of more, that there was something before that you felt that that was there, and that you had to work on, that you did work on and fix. That's why it was super cool to see that and appreciate that.
Oh yeah, that didn't make me think after like trying to reconfigure the gears in my head is definitely have a very complicated, cluttered train of thought. Like, I believe everyone's mind is like a universe of thoughts, and now people process the world differently. And for me, mine it's definitely like as clean as my room. It's very unorganized, and sometimes my sentences will like, my trains of thought will like crash into each other, and I'll combine a lot of sentences that like kind of go way off topic, and it's really a clutter funk. But yeah.
Do you like sometimes feel like you say stuff, like you say something but you mean something else, and then you're like, like, do you get like that?
Yeah, I feel like I do get misinterpreted quite easily.
I feel that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do take a lot of things literally, but not too literally, because those are kleptomaniacs.
That was actually funny as fuck. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I feel that. Do you like balls? Like, fuck, I said that wrong. Like, in your boba, like, do you just like I'm touching back. Do you like Thai tea? Like, do you like the balls in that boba, or do you just drink, like, strictly the teas and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do like various balls in my life. I think the ones in my drink are non-existent.
So you don't get the boba balls? Like, yeah. I wanted to ask that earlier when you were talking about your teas, but I never got the mic.
Yeah, I do like boba, although I used to get in my drinks all the time.
So you're just like more of like the I fuck with the tea.
Yeah, I definitely fuck more with the tea. I
respect that, because that's kind of how I am. Yeah. Like, I don't really like the balls in them.
Oh, they're pretty good, but I've been trying to watch my weight.
Introduce myself?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not.
I think you honestly just reminded me, though, the first time I ever had popping boba was that, I think you were with me, bro.
Oh, no, see, that wasn't boba. That was good, though. And I was about to, like, say that, like...
I never had tried it, and I didn't know I bought that. I thought it was just like with regular boba, and then I was drinking it, and it started like.
They were like not boba balls, but they were like
how do you feel about
balls that just.
Is that like the same vibe, or you feel like that's like?
Yeah, I think it's great that we have a whole variety of toppings you could put into our milk teas, but it's definitely a different material, because boba is a tapioca. It's a starch, so. I've stopped getting boba as much, because trying to maintain this six pack, and popping boba is like another form of sugar. I gotta get some sort of six pack. Different flavor.
You ever do egg pudding?
Oh yeah, I do egg pudding.
The only six pack.
Egg pudding is pretty nice. It's like I like how it's like they're all like forms of squishiness, or there's an actual rating called QQ, which is I guess a unit of measurement for its squishiness. Yeah.
That's actually very interesting because I have had like harder bobas now that you say that, and then squisher ones where it kind of just feels like it might melt a little bit.
No, I guess it's more like you can't quantify it. It's more like how you quantify how smart someone is. Like even then, like IQ isn't really good measurement, but like it's more like a descriptive quality. Like it's higher levels of QQ or lower levels, or so
how the way you just put that, I understand what you mean completely now. New idea for you. You gotta like film yourself judging the QQ of random boba balls at places.
Haven't been doing much boba lately. I've been just more looking at the quality of the tea itself.
That's what's up though, because that's where it's really at. I love tea. That's why I was asking.
I don't want to assume, but I know that's one thing we were gonna ask. Like, what is your favorite tea? Because we were talking about some of your favorite places, but like, what is your? Because I remember that's something you were interested about. Like, what's some of the most fire teas? Like, I'm a hibiscus guy. We all go around and see like what is our top tier like flavor.
Man, okay. I really love milk tea. Oh no, it's okay. It's all good. No. Tea is one of my addiction interests. So, it's crazy how milk teas all come from the same plant. Tea leaves are any tea comes from the same tea leaf, but it's just how it's processed to determine what kind of tea it is. From green tea, oolong tea, black tea to matcha, they all come from the same plant. And then so that's the ranking for its caffeine content, just based on how much it's like heated up during the oxidation process, and how long that heating up process is. So that's why green tea is usually like a lower caffeine content, because it spent less time being dried and beaten up in the machines. And then black tea is kind of like a higher level, and oolong is like right in the middle, which is like why I like it, because it's like a nice little balance. And even then, in each of those categories has its own spectrum of subcategories. That's why you hear like lavender milk tea, rose milk tea, Earl Grey milk tea. They're all forms of, let's say, black tea. They'll use a black tea base, and they'll just have, the lavender added to it, or the rose added to it, Earl Grey added to it. And then even there's another level of milk teas, rooibos teas, which is like your herbal teas. So you have ginger. Hibiscus, See,
I love the ginger lemon hibiscus tea, bro. That shit right there, hot. I love that tea.
Yeah.
You just said it. I was like,
like you could get. There's a whole variety, and then your herbal teas will be non-caffeinated because they come from like basically other plants, and it's great. It's really just like how we have a spectrum of humans of all different races, ethnicities, backgrounds, and religions. We have a whole spectrum of milk teas and teas in general. Everything is an umbrella for any kind of term we have in life.
I don't know if you ever thought about this, but you should make a poster of all the teas, bro, and you should sell it.
That would be sick.
Make like a little info chart of like all these different umbrellas and umbrellas and umbrellas.
If you needed to know.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be cool.
That's a great idea. Could definitely be. Man, I would consider myself a tea aficionado. Just learn the whole breakthrough process of it.
A tea connoisseur.
Yeah. I can tell you all the qualities tea out there.
What do they call it when it's like an alcohol guy? Like what's the guy's name? Sommelier.
Oh, sommelier, yeah.
Yeah, like I'd go to a tea cellar and get like walked around by you. Like you'd be like, see this leaf? This leaf is from 1860, right?
You walk into the tea shop. It's like you just walk into the tea shop and it's like, all right, this is our great selection. It's just fucking thousands of teas, all different types, all explained and broken down.
So that way you don't get too zooted. You need like a miniature cups, like just like in the wine tasting, like you need like little bitty teas. So you can be like, all right, next, like
like samples, like.
But what is the most interesting experience you've had at an open mic or a stand-up or a set, like something out of the? Because I know in comedy, I feel like that's more often. I feel like pretty wild things do happen when you're performing. They go off the rails, but I feel like in comedy, since it's such a like you're talking to the people, sometimes interactive thing, I feel like there's room for things to just surprises, like things to go like off the hinge, like anything. crazy yet?
I suppose the experiences I do remember. For one thing, I always go back to when I went to my first mic at November 3rd, 2019. That was the one. That's definitely my most memorable. There was no other feeling I can feel like the way I felt at that night when I did it for the first time. Not really going in to do comedy or poetry, but it was comedic and poetic at the same time without my intention of it being so. It's one other time when I was doing an acceptance speech for CLI, the Community Literature Initiative, where they, we had a whole committee of book publishers, and Hiram Sims of the Sims Library Poetry, the one who's the captain of the library and the organization that runs the poetry publishing, he like one of the requirements to do this while doing CLI is also to volunteer your time and hours to give back to the community. And then he said this guy actually did his volunteer hours and contributed to doing stuff within the community, like helping run the events. So this the Student of the Year award goes to this guy over here, and he pointed at me. I was like, oh, whoop, all right then. So I gave like an acceptance speech that was like by far the most wild 10 minutes of my time just giving that speech, because I didn't expect myself to having gotten the Student of the Year award, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna just talk about this community is amazing. I'm so thankful that I had a community to help me write this book. But the whole time I was making a whole lot of jokes. It's definitely the most wildest laughter and feedback I got from the audience, because I think the great thing about doing mixed mics in general is you get an array of people from different backgrounds. And
you're right. I love that. Like when I went to one of those first mics, I didn't expect it to be how you just said, and I was like, yo, that's dope. There was even people doing acting scenes and stuff. I was like, yo, that's dope.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that.
It's given I'm not writing a Grammy speech. It's people say it's nah, I didn't write it. I just went up there and did it. Giving that moment where they brought you up and you were just damn, I really didn't expect to be up here. You just started freeballing it.
That's cool though, because then it comes out do you feel it comes out more natural and organic that way?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why sometimes I don't even prepare for mics. I like to just think of a topic and then go into mic and talk about that topic.
Take a shot.
Yeah, that night I was knocking back 10 shots of apple cider, so I was heavily drugged up with glucose and sugar and stuff. And then so I was way too hyper for that speech, and I was just going ham on that thing.
That's what's up. That's cool. Damn, I'm kind of mad now that I never got to see you at any of these open mics. That was I had I guess I gotta hit one the next one. Yeah, and come through.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And don't matter what kind of artist you do, or not even if you don't do comedy or poetry, you still can.
I'm gonna just say I'm gonna do I would do something really funny and then say a really dark twisted poem, and everyone's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, absolutely. LA is a bustling community. You'll find all sorts of places where you can go and just express yourself. Palms Up Academy is my home community where people are just supportive, and that's what you need.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier on the break to you. The couple times I've been there, it's very accepting, literally open arms.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've always, I don't know if you have any advice for this or any insight, but one thing we've always told Matt is man, we should try maybe doing some comedy, bro. I feel like you would, in that setting, you may have a good time, sharing a couple just sometimes funny anecdotes.
It's it's one of those things. I don't know. You get nervous around people you don't know. That's why anytime I've been there, I'm just kind of I don't know anyone here except you two and Chris. So I just be there observing. Sometimes it's cool to sit in the back seat and observe, especially in places like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's art really isn't about doing it right or doing good. It's really just doing it to express, how initially I was just doing it as a means to talk to a room full of strangers. I wasn't ever trying to be funny or poetic. I was just therapeuticizing.
That's cool though. Yeah. That's That's just genuine and organic way to go about it. I fuck with that.
Would you ever put out any like music? Is that any in your creative field? Like you ever have any calling to like make music in that sense, or is it?
Yeah. In all the struggles I've had in life of wondering how I can learn to become better at talking to people, how to socialize and make friends. All the mediums I want to acquire is just me trying to level up my artistic knowledge. And I just want to keep expanding my skill set and finding new forms to explore mediums of expressing. And I last year I did the Fringe show where me and like my group from CLI, we decided to do a show called Terraforming Marginalized Voices, which was basically an immersive poetry experience where we play characters that people can like interact and then we just share our poetry with them. And I do want to upgrade my skill and been going more into performative arts, trying to do more avant-garde stuff, things that are just out of the box, out of the ordinary. And I do want to just find all sorts of mediums. So hoping about like in 10 years when I learn how to sing properly and how to make music, I want to drop an album that's like genre fluid.
It's like, see, that sometimes I feel like sing properly, like I 100% feel you on that. But recently I've been thinking like, is there a wrong way to sing if it's coming from like deep down? Because I do feel you, like I sound like shit when I sing, like, but sometimes I'll be like,
No, I mean, there is nothing you can't do if you believe yourself that it is a wrong or right answer to doing it. Like, no, ultimately, it is expression. It is just expression. And it being good, comes from the people who vibe with what you're saying or the message you're trying to tell. And if you're authentic,
That's
then,
facts.
you'll be fine, I think.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Random question. Can you do a handstand? You literally look like the type of guy that could do a handstand. I don't know why I just thought of that.
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I do enjoy rock climbing.
Oh, shit. You like rock climbing?
Yeah, I do. I do a little bit of rock climbing. I don't know. Can I do a handstand? I'm not sure. I can probably do it for
my brother's rock
flip
climbing.
over.
What, like V6 or what? What's your climbing scale?
BC before COVID, yes. After, probably like top V4 maximum right now. But I'm trying to work my way back into it.
Yeah, climbing's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna toss back to Chris for some jams. Hope everybody's vibing still.
I probably hug on the curb and scrape the ground when I swing, dodging potholes when I twirl, repping some bows and it's true. Got a pebble in my groove, in the beat with the bumper, cause it's screw when I move. Elevated, modulated with adapter. Now ride smooth as that to take a picture, that's a shine. You should capture with a flick of flame. Power the trunk and bang, I be throwed in the game, mine.
Rock and roll, sticky, like it high. No great relationship, at least I try. Passion, baby, gotta make a couple rounds. Oh, make it back to you to settle down. Don't blame yourself for all the shit you shouldn't do. I'm getting used to being loved the right way. My nigga put up at the stool, said he got two. I said I'm cool. He looked at me like, nigga, you
words. My heart stopped beating to the drum, I sing this tune I wrote for you like a DJ. Play me the song of something more. She want the truth, it's not the proof I have behind the face. Take a break and roll a sticky, let it high. Not to a relationship, at least I try. Passion, baby, gotta make a couple rounds. Oh, make it back to you to settle down.
Real one, if I broke, she never would leave me, no. I got a real one, if I broke, she never would leave me, no. I got a real one, if I broke, she never would leave me, no. I got a real one, yeah.
I bought a condo and it's cozy. My nigga nosy as fuck this here. Young nigga walk in with his kids, they don't know who he is. They don't know that he young. No chain on no rollie. I move around dolly and touch. Not cause I'm hard, but cause I got God. I heard it was going on fast, but I think it's better to slowly and what. That money was burning a hole in my pocket, and I in my pocket, a hole in my gut. We walking on function, they dog got the bump, and my dog got the rushing like sober your pup, sober your pup. Nah, nigga, don't shy, nigga, don't 2-6. We got loose shit. Shit returned like a roof. I don't really do the cameras. I be low in Los Angeles. Niggas ain't never gon' see me. Might as well be in Canada. Niggas ain't never gon' be me. Best stay in your parameters. You know they gon' GOAT me. I spell it out for you like family. Probably gon' put them on reread. That for the feature. Ben Franklin, no. They ain't finna catch me in the type of places everybody go. I know exactly what my hands is for to carry a lot of dough. I had to pot the piss, I had the fist. Can't sit around and bone on.
Wife, flowing out my tear ducts, the sound of me not giving a fuck, blowing out my earmuffs. Love ain't got nothing to do with it. You can ask Ike that. The heart seemed like the perfect place for you to stick a knife at. How come I gotta ask more times than you as you like that? I went to see the man inside the mirror, it was Mike Jackson. It ain't my fault you couldn't see what you was looking at. True, I gave you my heart, but ultimately I took it back. It only takes a day to go from look at us to look at that. I told you there's no looking back, the brimstone is a falling. Any talk of how I did you wrong, the folks will be appalling. Things got rocky and you doubted me like Adrian and Paulie. Tranquilito, se acabó. I bid you fairly well. My turntables might have wobbled, but they never really fell. Your love was conditional. Conditional.
Kids. Hey, Kool-Aid and frozen pizza. It's the work of art, I ain't talking Mona Lisa. Dream of rockin' crowds, see me filling up arenas. Got me laughing like a damn hyena. Yeah, I live a life pretty similar to yours. Used to go to school, hang with friends and play sports. Every single summer taking trips to the shore. And that was all gravy, but I knew I wanted more. Ain't ever seen a young rapper like one. Can't believe they high, swear it's just a mirage. Still got my training wheels in the garage, but I ain't gonna need those, I'ma go hard. So far, I've done pretty well for myself.
Couple trophies on the shelf, so what else could I want that I don't have yet? Well, a little more cash in my own fast jet, so I can go anywhere. Cali for the boy, I know there's plenty there. About to be at music stores everywhere, but not yet. They can't understand my concept. I've been climbing up the Great Wall, haven't had a fall yet. These blogs gotta know I'm on next. Clean conscience, good Samaritan. Company send me clothes, so I'm wearing them. If you didn't know, well, I'm from the bird. Everything I drop recorded by a big germ. I smoke and I make music. I don't even talk about it, boy, I just do it. Everybody got their own opinion, the reasons why they feeling them. You must admit he's killing them, running off adrenaline, waiting for the game to wanna let him in. So open up, the boy a barrel of a smoking gun. Whether I'm old or young, the chosen one. I got 100 billion flows to come. I hope you know the lyrics to every single song, so when I'm at a show, everyone can sing along. Bag empty, bottle at its last drop. I'm feeling like this could be my last shot, but many more songs to make, cousin. So why the f you bugging?
Sure the level's tight, I leave it's real tight. Check. Yeah, come now. Soul brother number 2. I'm the one now. Sun up to sundown, still kicking that shit. Put your gun down. I come in peace like a extraterrestrial being. Eat me a meteor and walk across the moon bare feet. But don't nobody rhyme like this no more. Call me the 2010 Rock Kim. I got soul, it's more store. Feel like the CVS open 24. Spent nights trying to overshadow my shadow for niggas trying to block my light like a solar eclipse. I bring a knife to a fist fight, and when I cut a record, so when I cut the cheese, shit, you know what it is. Mr. Absolutely the most incredible at this. So adjust your bass, your treble, and then
Turn me up some. 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 Turn me up some.
Finna break this blunt down and burn me up, Let's sip on this Remy till it turn me up some. For me it's more difficult to be simple than it is to be complex. There's a lot of apartments. You niggas comedy, I'm laughing at you probably. We are not the same, there's no strand of monotony between you and I until we die. Revelations say you either fry or fly, and it's hard to find God when you ain't never seen him. There's pie in the sky and his body's on the cement. And I know you're looking at me like you don't speak English. I bring the heat like a phoenix and sun under Phoenix sun. And I'm rooting for the Lakers when they play the Phoenix Suns. I ain't really into sports, that's just where I'm from. Long term too. And if it's in your possession, then follow the directions, my dude.
Turn me up some. 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 Turn me up some.
Come now. Pop told me fuck the world. I'm about to come now. I've been a pro, but now I'm profound. Propane on poses, restraining from the doja. Imagine if I smoke, I'd probably come up with a quote so heavy you'll forget every album you heard from Hova. Or Tupacalypse, I'm a Hub City's novelist. Come and get your scholarship, I'm taking kids to school. Approved for the spit, dive in, I'm about to drool. You drown trying to backstroke on concepts that I wrote. I was a black sheep, but now I'm just a goat. And I'm about to elope, married to the gang show. This is hip-hop at its finest, where you find this in a ziplock till the wheels fall off. Fuck a pit stop or whatnot, with my teardrop, I murdered it. My potholes is turbulence, I'm in the sky with it. When you listening to Kendrick, just
turn me up some. Turn me up some. Turn me up some.
Got you. Welcome back to the next chapter. It's your host Wes here chilling with
Mauriwowi, how's it going?
And I'm Matt.
And we got our guest.
Yeah, it's me again. Same person. I'm Chai. What?
Just in case you guys just tuning in, just coming back. I know a lot of people tap in, first, second hour, 30 minutes, because it's a lot of jams going on. There's conversations happening the whole time, and a lot of times I feel like I love the fact that there's varied conversations that go on throughout this podcast. Like, it's not necessarily a linear flow. Like, throughout times, like, we'll talk about your life, your past, your future, what you got going, but a lot of times, something. Maybe today we could tap into this a little earlier, because usually we kind of do it at the very end, but this is one of the ending segments. So, I mean, we could all kind of talk a little bit about what's the next chapter. What does that mean to us? Because that's kind of what we talk about a lot in this podcast at the end, is like being in that, like, the first stages of your life and your art and your career, and then kind of get into that second stage and what it feels like, just knowing more, having more under your experience belt, and like how you're maneuvering with that, even in any facet of life or art, it's kind of pretty open. This next chapter is universal.
Yeah, I suppose the next chapters, I feel like, man, there's a lot in my history that, I do want to write more about. But yeah, I do got some nice things coming up with all that have been kind of, next things are coming up. For one thing, I'm working on, writing my one-man show. So I'm calling it We're Not Really Strangers, How to Socialize and Make Friends. So yeah, I just want to share like my past experiences of like all, the crushes I crushed on and how that made me as a person, and sort of like in life, and how our friends, before they were friends, they were strangers that we didn't know. And there's a YouTube channel called Yes Theory, and their philosophy is like, strangers are basically friends you haven't made yet, and their idea is to say yes to a lot of stuff, because I don't know, there's just way too much in life that we can't do everything. We can't do everything that our lives like we're capable of doing, but we could do as much as we can, and feel like saying yes to a lot more stuff, I feel like can open up avenues to more than who we become, like going up on the first time on the mic versus just trying to publish a book versus just, I don't know, I suppose going on a date or go travel somewhere. Those moments or stories wouldn't have happened if I decided to stay still and not try and do those things. And I always thought about like, make the choices in life that will go make the better story. And I feel like we could be scared to do a lot of things, to take those leaps, because in your heart, if you want to do something, then you should just do it. And if you're scared of doing it, then just do it scared, and you'll find it is better to do something than nothing at all. And I suppose in regards to the original question, next things I got going is, I'm shooting to publish my book by the end of the year, November 4th, which is I suppose a remarkable date in my life, because in November, since that 2019, that came from a challenge to do one new thing I've never done each day in the entire month of November. And that was the best month of my entire life, because in that month I ran a mud run, I did a Spartan race, I ran a marathon for the hell of it, I went skydiving, I went solo camping, I gave compliments to 100 different people, strangers, for the hell of it. I went airsoft. I went to a spa. Man, I just did a whole lot of crazy wild stuff, and then I was like, what really is stopping us from doing these things besides money? Because expensive shit. But like, if you weren't tied down by financial insecurities, and what would you be doing? Would you keep doing what you'd be doing, or would you realize you'd be doing something else if money wasn't the motivator to be doing something you don't want to be doing? And you realize that there's a lot more you'd be able to do, and it'd feel a whole lot great just doing what you wanted to.
feel that with the money thing, though, because like I feel like I might be doing the same shit I'm doing, just like maybe like in the Maldives or Bali. You feel me, man?
That is interesting because we talked about that the other time we were here on the pod too, and it came up in the same segment where it was kind of like, I think it was with Megan, and then we were talking about that, like, but I think one thing we landed on was that the meaning in like life would somewhat fade a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just had like, if you could just do whatever, like you didn't have no like want, like you did everything. You know what I mean? Like willy nilly, like anything you wanted to do, you could just do it. Like your money didn't matter. Like you could, I want to go here, there. Like would it feel as like rewarding?
That's when you do side quests, bro. Yeah. Like when everything else is exhausted, you just gotta hit all your side quests.
That, and it was also, it comes down to life is what you make it. The meaning is what you give it. Because like what we were saying is like, yes, it has like the potential to lose a lot, and there is like, I do see that potential, but I think there's also like it's still what you make of it.
Can I also say something?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just gotta say something. Cause yeah, we upgrading. K Chung upgrading. You hear me? Okay. From the DJ Boo, Chris Siders up in here. All right, yeah. So real quick, you know, y'all was talking about like side quests and whatnot. Like, yeah, we still upgrading, even though. But yeah, so y'all was talking about like side quests and whatnot, and just taking the chance on venturing off into different creative spaces. I honestly didn't view myself as a rapper at all. Like I started rapping in 2018, and even when I was rapping in 2018, like I only did like made 5 raps. I was mainly a producer, and then when I made my first like project, that's when I was like, oh, I could actually like do this. You know what I'm saying? I was always like doing poetry, and then even with like modeling was just honestly supposed to unlock like the confidence side of myself, and then that became like a thing where I could get paid off of and like just do like modeling shoots and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I totally relate to like, you know, what you're saying, Chai. It's just super dope just to unlock different like parts of yourself that you never really would have thought like, you know, existed. It's just crazy. So much love to you. I just had to comment on that.
And I want to add to that, Chris, I need you to help me do some side quests, and I'll model for your peoples for free. You can quote me on that.
I don't know.
I know the modeling.
Yo, do you want the nude modeling though?
Yeah.
Yo, wow. I don't know about that. That's like a private thing, my guy.
No, yeah. What you're most comfortable with, but
I mean, like I've done a lot of like wild nude modeling. The wildest story I have was
I see your IG.
No. I mean, oh my goodness. But like the wildest story I have was I was modeling in Monterey County, and this was like during the height of the pandemic. And this was December 2020. Shout out to Heather. She had this idea like, hey, let's do a nude shoot on the beach at 6:30 in the morning.
That's a lot of sand.
A lot of sand. It was cold as hell.
A lot of cracks.
And then
confidence.
And then like we was like mid shoot, and then we realized like there was a person out there with a drone. It was, and I'm butt ass naked. And we was like, oh yeah, we need to wrap up. So that was like probably like top 3 craziest wild nude modeling shoot experience I had.
I do feel you on the side quest too. Just to add to that, like one, like that would be an interesting side quest for sure. I would take that on. And then 2, another thing I was saying was that the other side quest.
Get back on that microphone. You said top 3. I'm sorry.
Number 1, I cannot say on air because it's yeah, I can't say it. Man, you about to get me in trouble, bro.
Yeah, kickback.
Don't get me in trouble.
Yeah, but another side quest that I was talking about recently was I've been wanting to take there's like a dance studio by our house, and it's like not for any like gain or anything. Like I just feel like sometimes you just feel like a side quest is needed. Like you just want to do something that like is outside of what you usually do, but then do it like consistently in a way. And I feel like it's like you have like a third character. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's Dance Class West.
I swear, look at it like this. Like the past year and whatever since shit hit the fan, I'll just say like that, dude. I've been doing honestly nothing but side quests. Like nothing but like bullshit. Like everything I've been doing honestly doesn't matter, and I'm gonna say like that's just dope.
Yeah.
No, yeah, doing side quests is dope, bro. Just doing shit alone. Like, look, going out to eat alone. Sometimes that shit turns into some completely other shit.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But just don't let the side quests distract you from your main quest. You can get lost in the side quest, dog, and then abandon the game.
Yeah, you ever played those
Like a
RPGs?
side quest, like on some like I'm gonna take this class, or it's like, oh, I'm gonna start going to like walk dogs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some like we all hit the solo mission. The solo mission ain't the side quest.
All side quests are side quests at the end of the day. That's why you call it a side quest. Like it's all in the same category.
But yo, when it comes to side quests, like side quests is like a form of self care too. Don't forget that. Like that's something that I used to do was take
That's what I
myself
was
to the
getting
movies.
at. Like the bullshit side quests that I've been doing, like that shit's been lit. You know, like
Wait, what's the bullshit side quest you be doing? Now I'm curious because I know you, Matt. You be doing some wild shit.
Nothing.
You and Wes. You and Young Check West over there. Y'all some wild.
I wish.
motherfuckers.
Do you have like a horn so you could bleep out what I'm about to say as I say it?
Wait, how explicit
You
is
ain't
it?
never-
I mean,
you ain't
remember, we're outside.
This is a joke. You ain't never
We're
smoked
outside.
The Gremlins.
Yeah, there's been kids walking by.
Oh yeah. Nothing
Why
do
you
is
why
wrong,
you
man.
think I didn't say the top number one wild shoot that I had?
I'm gonna tap in later.
Man, we ain't trying to get off the air. Stop.
I'm gonna retap and then you retap. Side quests.
Oh my goodness.
Complete them.
Wes,
That
get
one
your
yellow
boy.
side quest, you didn't do it right.
Get your guy.
I think Matt's gonna take 5 on the mic.
Okay. Hey yo, nothing you do is bull unless you're working at the rodeo. All right.
What? Yo, wow.
No, you ever play a role-playing game and you like Skyrim and you just can't finish the main quest? You just can't finish it. I mean, you can, but there's so much in life to do besides the main sole and purpose in life you feel you need to do. Like, plus they add on to your experience. Like, you want to end the game being level 50, you want to end the game being level 200. I mean, all that we do, we're just a composition of all the things we've done and all the things we will do. Like, and it makes you better as a person. Like, part of learning poetry evolved into my comedy. Part of watching songwriters write their songs helped me write my own bars. And yeah, part of my way I'm able to write is it's easier to write when you've lived a life worth writing about. And so the things I do, like doing escape rooms and board games and rock climbing and hiking and taking pottery classes, taking swing dance classes, it's all part of a contribution to your main goal of leveling up, becoming a better person than you are years back. And yeah, that's the kind of person I look up to is myself 5 years from now, because that's the one person I want to make proud.
Hey, Chai, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because you said write about a life worth, like, you know.
That was beautiful.
Because like I want to like talk to you about that, because like, you know, a lot of folks really feel that they don't have a story to share, but everybody has a story to share.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everything is like unique. How we experience love and crushes and, you know, infatuation, all that is unique. And I think add that to the sphere and the conversation in the space is already a story worth writing about in itself, you know. So like, what makes you like, what do you feel is a story worth writing about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, shoot, yeah, yourselves. If like, you know, you've lived some kind of life, yeah, shoot, you write for yourself. I mean, I know this doesn't apply for everyone. Some people enjoy tranquility and peace in just living life and, you know, doing the simplest of things. Sometimes just working and staying home, and, you know, that's okay. You know, this kind of journey isn't really for everyone, but it can be. It can be. And, yeah.
And then one thing I wanted to touch on was something that you said earlier, was that when you talked about getting lost in the side quest, like I did think of something, because I was like, man, there is like one side quest that I'm like, yo, it's definitely like grade A side quest, but honestly it's not worth completing. Like, you don't need to go to the afters. Like that's like a side quest. That's like,
bro, you motherfucker. And that was so stupid the other night, yo.
Chris,
I'm calling y'all out for that one.
That was a side quest.
That was burnt. That was burnt. It was in a junkyard.
What's wrong with that?
At 3 a.m. in the morning. Like,
dude, that's a great dessert place. What are you talking about?
Y'all burnt for that one. I was like, I'm going home.
You're talking about Afters, right? The ice cream place?
Chris,
the Afters?
It was the Afters. No, it's like after parties in LA.
He was there. That's what he's saying.
Wait, what?
We brought Chris there.
No, he was asking what it is.
The ice cream place, right?
No,
oh, he think we talking about Afters ice cream. I've had Afters. Afters is amazing.
We're talking about like the after parties, like in downtown LA,
like a side quest.
That was trash.
Like going out somewhere that stays open from like 2 to 6 a.m. That's a side quest you can just miss outright.
That is the most ridiculous
don't check that
side
box.
quest.
Don't check that box.
Why? Yeah, whose idea was that?
Well, it's not an idea. Shit, it happens.
Whose idea was that
Derek.
night?
It happens
every night.
Derek, speak easy. I'm calling you out.
It was Derek's idea.
Come on, bro.
We blame Derek for everything.
I mean, I
still find someone to blame.
I know some more Afters are better than that one anyway. So
that was burnt.
Fuck, I'm gonna make a shirt that says "fuck the Afters." Anyway, Chris, I wanted to touch back with what you said because, like, you said what makes something good to write about. And me personally, I don't like to classify as anything but a writer. Like, I love to write and anything, bro. Story could be anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Literally
like
anything. You could write about anything, bro. I could write about the wind hitting these plants, and turn it into some crazy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, every story is worth writing about, even if it may sound like mundane to like you or whoever else. Like, I always encourage everybody to write their story and like their perspective on the world, because like that's what I was trying to get at. Because like people be like, man, I don't have nothing worth writing about because I do a 9-to-5 job or whatever XYZ. But like your perspective is like needed in the space in the world that we're like cultivating. So that's what I was trying to get at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, reality. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, reality is a manifestation of your perception, and shoot, yeah, anyone. It's the thing where anyone can be a writer, anyone can be a comedian, anyone can be funny. But what separates an amateur poet from a professional poet is doing your taxes on it.
Hey man, hey, feds be watching, bro. Feds be watching. Don't get me in trouble, man.
Dude, like my homie Soul Stuff, like I consider him a professional poet because he's always telling me, hey Chai, that trip going to New York, that typewriter you just bought, you can write it off on your taxes, man. It's part of being a freelance poet. And I'm like, oh, this guy's professional, right? He's got the government involved. That's when it becomes professional.
Man, Uncle Sam be in my pockets too much for me to do them tonight.
Yeah, Uncle Sam is what makes you a professional right there. When he's watching you deeply. Anyway,
Hey, Shai, quick question. Your improv is amazing. Like, your ability to like work on the spot. When you go about formulating your sets, do you formulate like a set, or do you try to do a mix of both? Do you try to incorporate
especially comedy. The challenge of doing comedy is you do have to improvise based on the audience, because if you realize your set's not working, you gotta switch gears, or it even makes you more potent. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. It makes you more potent, but like if you can riff off of what other comedians are saying, or doing some crowd work or something like that. And improv comes easy because a lot of it comes from pulling from your own experience. And even that was my own side quest. I've enjoyed doing improv on the mic and learning from professional freestylers and rappers, because even then freestyling is its own improv. You're kind of just spewing what you have in your head and like just shooting out as quickly as you can, and with bars sometimes.
Well, man, we just want to make sure we get to thank you for coming, and really appreciate the energy and the information you brought to us today. I feel like I learned a lot, laughed a lot, and I got to learn some new things. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great experience, bro.
Yeah. Chai tea.
Thank you for joining us. It was honestly a great conversation.
Yeah, it's my honor. I'm really glad I got to sit down with you and talk.
Also, I want to let you know we're gonna go see this Paris, Texas album drop right now.
Oh, yeah,
we might get in a mosh pit and get sweaty. I may not look like this after, so take a good look.
I want to say thank you to you too, bro. You had really great quotes and subtle jokes. Like, I love that shit. You're dope.
Oh,
You're
Thank
cool, bro.
you. You know,
Nice
I
meeting
try to
you.
be. Yeah.
I'm like over here acting like I'm usually here and shit. Like, nah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you all for having me. It was a little nice to like try something different. You know, another side quest to do. But side quest complete. Go on K Chung Radio and talk and stuff. You know, with some homies.
Try not to go to afters. I'm gonna try not to too.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. Peace out.